Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing? I hope today is finding you well. I can't complain. 72 degrees today, and it's just absolutely gorgeous here in Southern California. I'm going to try a little bit of a different mount today. I've got you on the left side of the helmet versus the top. And we're going to kind of fiddle with that, see if that's something I can work with, something I can use. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about motorcycling, being a motorcyclist, a rider, if you will, biker. Now, some of you may have come across my channel looking for vlogs, looking for Harley Davidson, looking for videos specific to the Harley Davidson Ultra Limited, which I am on today. Say hello to Bessie. She's my 2015 Ultra Limited. And some of you may be interested in the hobby. Some of you are thinking about getting into motorcycling. And for those of you that already have, I wanted to talk a little bit about how did you get into the hobby? What were some of your earliest influences? Who got you into it? What was your first bike? So I'm going to get a little bit into it on my end. My identical twin and I got into it, I think it was about 6 or 7, maybe 8 years old. My dad brought home this rattle trap of an old Yamaha little dirt bike. I think it was a 70cc, a small little thing, and got us some helmets, and I think we wore some kind of weird looking Pee-wee football protective gear. It definitely wasn't BMX or motocross armor, that's for sure. We got into that, and he taught us the ropes, had a shift, taught us about the clutches. We're going to do a little lane splitting up here. It's going to happen. That's how I started out. My first motorcycle was a 1979 Suzuki RM80 dirt bike, and that's where I did a lot of thrills and spills with that. But that's how I got my feet wet, so to speak. How I got into the hobby. And my brother had an old Yamaha YZ80. That was his first bike. And my father used to take us to a place called Retchie Canyon, California. It's near Loma Linda. We ended up learning how to ride out there, and then we ended up in the Santa Ana Wash. Rode some in there, and I remember the trips out to Glamis. Took some trips out there. Sand dunes was, of course, a different aspect, learning that. And then marriage and kids and hanging up the hobby until I got back into it. I'd say fall of 98, the beginning of 99. Got a 600cc Suzuki Katana, first street bike, and got back into it from there. Then I took another break until I met my most current missus, and ended up I worked for the state of California, and I got a promotion, but with this promotion came higher pay, but also came with a lengthy commute. So we wanted to find a way to save money on that commute. So of course, motorcycling came back into the forefront. There was a missus that came up with a Harley Davidson, and I wasn't necessarily interested in Harleys at that point, but we rented one and we rode one on together, and that kind of sealed it at that point. And then ended up getting my first Harley, a 2001 Road Glide, and then traded that on this 2015 Ultra Limited. And that brings another question. For those of you that ride, your significant other, does she ride with you? Does she ride her own? My missus does a little bit of both. She rides with me, and that's fantastic, but she's got her own bike. We got her a 2015 Harley Davidson FLRT trike. You may have seen it in one of my prior videos. She rides that. She's getting pretty good at it. I always recommend, if you're going to get into the hobby, start out with something in the dirt, and all your learning can be done on the dirt. You fall down, at least it won't be on the pavement and around other cars if you're going to fall. And it's a little easier to learn clutches and learn the transmission, a manual transmission, on the dirt. We have ridden together. Our longest trip, we've ridden as far as Gilbert, Arizona, where her twin sister lives, and this Ultra Limited was perfect for that. Lots of storage. We're gonna make a right turn up here. One thing I do like about this mount on the left versus on top of the helmet is that it's bound to have better blockage of the sun, because I did have a prior video where I rode you guys pretty much into the sun. That didn't work out too good. I'm not sure what all you can see in super view, but we're going to pan around a little bit here. So about motorcycling, I don't have necessarily a preference. Of course, I prefer Harley Davidson, but I think that has a little bit more to do with that's what I ride. All bikes, of course, are wonderful in their own way. If you're on two wheels, you're still on two wheels, so that's great. I don't know if they all shake like this one does. She's got the shakes. Speaking of riding a motorcycle, of course this kind of weather is ideal to ride in, but there are those of you that ride year-round. Let me know in the comments which one of you guys or gals ride year-round. I tend to ride a little less in the summertime when it's over 100 degrees for months at a time. At that point, we're looking at late evening, early morning rides when it cools down to about 100 or 90 degrees. In those days, it's more of a destination ride. You're riding to get away from the heat, and you're riding to a destination that's cooler. And then, of course, you do ride back, and that's where you get the heat. There's some two wheels. too. Now, of course, with this Ultra Limited, we do have the infotainment system, Bluetooth, iPod connectivity, and phone navigation, all of that. A lot of it, of course, is not necessary. It does come in handy. I like the communication, the wired communication between me and the passenger. That is nice to have. Just gorgeous out here. Do a lot of you ride local? I tend to do a lot of commuting, a lot of freeway, where the cruise control and a comfy seating position does help to rack up those miles. But I do enjoy just riding around here locally. That's always nice. Those of you that ride, you know the salute that we each give each other as motorcyclists when we pass each other on the road. And I have read and seen online that people that ride certain makes of motorcycle don't salute the quote-unquote wrong make of motorcycle. Is that you? I salute anybody on two wheels, even if it's a Vespa, sexy as those are. I salute those guys and gals too. So we'll just scoot on up to the front. So we're just doing a little testing with the camera. Left side of the helmet versus the top. See if this is a location I could leave it, if I like it or not. Everybody, I appreciate you coming along. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video if you'd like. We'll see you back on the next one. Take care now.